Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to give you a complete overview of the one-page builder, and this will be beginner friendly. So by the end of this video, you'll have a complete understanding of how to use the one-page builder. Whether you're looking to build websites, landing pages, quizzes or funnels, mobile link trees, integrate with the CRM, and so much more, we've got you covered in this video. The one-page builder is perfect for agencies and businesses, or anyone who wants to create a presence on the internet. In this video, we're going to show you how to create an account, a profile, share your projects, create projects, and edit your projects. We'll show you about different pages, the integrated CRM that's built into the product, how to manage your analytics and all of your settings. We'll also create a page from a template so you can see how easy it is to get going with the one-page builder. We'll also show you how to connect custom domain when you're ready to launch your project to the world. And we'll show you how to set up special tools like cookie banners and other settings. Again, this tutorial will be completely beginner friendly. So by the end of this, you'll be comfortable with the one-page builder and be able to build a beautiful website or landing page for your business, as well as integrate with other tools. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and we'll get back to you with answers. And subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any other tutorial videos like this one. Okay, let's go ahead and log into our account and show you how to start a project from scratch. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. As a quick recap, by the end of this, you'll be familiar with all the settings in your account, as well as how to use the builder proficiently so that you can feel confident building your site with OnePage, whether it's a landing page, a mobile link tree, a quiz or a funnel, and so much more. We'll even get into some of the settings like the CRM, the analytics, and how to connect your custom domain. OnePage is built to be responsive, so it looks good on all devices, and you can change all the elements on the page from the colors to the brand, to the CTAs, to the headings, and so much more. And we'll show you where all those settings are throughout this tutorial. What I'm going to go ahead and do is log into my account. And right now, I don't have any products created, so this will be a good overview as if you were starting OnePage from scratch. The first thing that I want to cover today is the profile settings and some of the settings in your account. And once you've created an account, you'll see your name up here in the top left of the builder. If we go ahead and click this, we can hover down to the profile section of our page. Here is where you can edit your personal information. If you need to make any changes to it, you could do so here. We have our first name, last name, email associated with the account. You could change and update your password, choose your language and country, and change what language your content is set in. Moving across the top here, we have an appearance tab. These are different themes that you have to choose from light to dark blue to dark contrast, and you can even choose your key color for your business. Moving across the top, we do have a billing tab, and this is where you would update all of your billing info once you subscribe to a payment plan. You can also see your pricing plan here, which I'm going to skip over, your affiliate section here, as well as an API key for your account. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this. And the first thing I want to talk about is projects. Projects are where everything lives in your account. A project could be a website, it could be a landing page, it could be an internal page, and so much more. But what we need to do is we need to create a project here for our account. So I'm going to head up here to this blue button and I'm going to click Create Project. There are a lot of options here. You can start with one of OnePage's pre-designed templates, or you can build your own from scratch. Taking a look at their templates, they really have everything covered. They have books, portfolios, CVs, productized services, software apps, digital products, agencies, portfolios, webinars, and so much more. The list goes on and on. Whatever use case, they really will have the perfect template for you. And keep in mind, once you choose a template, you can customize everything about the template. You can add elements, you can remove elements, you can change the text, the styling, and so much more. Moving across the top here, we also have forms and funnels. This is where you can build multi-step forms or funnels for your website. So as you can see, they have a multi-step service configurator, a multi-step survey, a multi-step recruiting funnel, property finder, and so much more. You could start from one of these templates and then you can modify the funnel to fit your needs, but these are very beautifully designed. So it gives you a really good starting point for your funnel or your quiz or your lead magnet or whatever you're building on your site. If you're looking for something a little bit more simple and you just need a link in bio or link tree for either your social media or your business, they have that as well. We've got templates for contact page, link tree, a couple different link tree templates here that are beautifully designed. And again, you can customize the colors and make all the changes that you would need once you would start with this template. If you're looking to build internal pages for your business or organization, Onepage has that for you as well. Legal documents, under construction, thank you pages, booking pages, a thank you page with an upsell. They give you lots of really creative ideas here so you can get going with their link in bio or their internal pages. Whatever your use case is, they've got you covered. Also, if you have any saved templates, they would show up here under My Templates, so you can work off a starting point rather than starting over from scratch. It's a nice place to keep all of your templates organized. Okay, so let's go ahead and just choose one of these to get started with our project. There's a lot of great options, but we're going to go ahead and just start with this portfolio CV template. This looks really nice. It fits our needs and it has all the elements that we're going to want to build out a page today. So we have this nice sort of H1 with an H2, an image, a moving logo wall for validation or social proof, skills and positions, some of our experience, some of the tools that we've used, and so much more. So this is perfect for our use case. And again, we can modify any elements of this template once we install it into our account. And since this looks great for us in our use case, we can just go ahead and hit this blue button, which says Start from the template. And the first thing that we need to do is name our project. This is only visible to us, and it's going to create a internal domain based on our project name. So we'll call this Onepage Demo 3, and we can see that our website will live at onepagedemo3.onepage.me. Now, I will show you later on in this video how to connect your custom domain, but for now, we're going to get a free domain that's hosted by Onepage. So I can go ahead and hit Create Project, and in just a second here, our website will load up. We are now in the editor, and I will go through and show you how to edit the different elements of your site. But before I do that, I want to go back to our dashboard here where we could show some different settings within the dashboard. If we hover over our project, we see these 3 dots down here. If we click this, there's a couple things that we can do. As you remember earlier, I showed you the custom template section. This is where we'd actually be able to do this and save this as a custom template. If we made changes to this page and we wanted to reuse it for certain clients, we could definitely save this as a template, and then we'd have access to our saved changes later on in the future. We can also organize our projects by folders. We can actually go back and we can hit this folder button. We can say agency, folder, hit create folder. And now that we have an agency folder, we can actually select this and we can move this project to our agency folder. So it's a really nice way to keep all of our projects and templates organized. Also, we can click this button and we can duplicate our project if we would like. So it's a really easy way to reuse your projects. We can archive it. And again, we can save it as a template. Now, if we click this settings here, we can actually view our project title. We can change it here. We can change or add a description if we don't have one. We can change the home page. If there were multiple pages, we could choose which page is the home page. We can also choose our site language here, which is going to be English. We can pick a favicon to show our site's logo in the browser. We can disable the one-page banner. If you're on a paid plan, you could disable site indexing and you could forward query parameters. So you can do that all here. Another thing that you could do, which is a really nice feature of Onepage, is you can collaborate with team members on your project. So if I choose collaboration, I can actually go ahead and just invite somebody to work on this project with me. This could be the client, or this could be somebody within my own business. So this is a really nice feature where you can work multi-tenant on projects and have multiple people on your team working on a site. Moving on here, cookie banner is sometimes tricky to do. You have to use third-party settings with some tools, but with Onepage, they've got you covered. You can put in a custom cookie banner with just a few clicks. They have a couple of different styles. One would be like a pop-up notification in the bottom. You can change the content of the cookie banner to be specific for your country. You can have the button CTA from accept to something else. You can have a privacy policy URL, a cookie policy URL. You can change the design of your banner so you can have it be on the right. You can have it be justified, centered. You can change the colors and so much more. They also have a compact design and an advanced design where you can really customize all of the settings. You can edit the cookie list and so much more. So if you need a cookie banner on your site, Onepage has got you covered. It's super easy in just a few clicks. Just a couple other things here. You can put custom code on your site in the head and the body. You can also see the styles or the CSS. So if you need to inject code for a analytics tool or something like that, you could certainly do it here, or even pixels for something like Facebook or some sort of advertising pixel. You could do that here as well. Moving up here to integrations, they do have integrations built in like Google Tag Manager, Facebook Pixel. So you'd actually want to use these rather than injecting the custom code, the TikTok Pixel, Hotjar, Google Maps, Onepage Analytics, and more. Moving on, if you want to publish your project, you're probably going to want to use a custom domain. This is found here as well. As you can see right now, we're just using an internal domain. We can actually change this, which is really nice. But whenever you're ready to connect your real domain, you could just click this transfer domain button, and this is how you will connect your custom domain. As we point out here, your page will always remain accessible with the Onepage domain as well, even if you connect a custom domain. And then back up finally here are just the general settings, which we already covered. So these are all of the settings from sharing your site to integrations, domain settings, and the cookie banner. There's really so much that you can customize here in these settings. So make sure that you walk through these whenever you set up your project. Okay, so coming back here, we can see that our project is here active in the agency folder. And I just want to show a couple other settings here before we go into the builder. So we have our pages. Our site only has one page, which is the home page because we chose this landing page template. If we had a site that was multi-page, we'd be able to see all of our different pages here that were associated with the site. Moving down to emails, this is where we can set up and customize our email templates. You can connect to a custom sender using your own domain, but we can also just create a template here. We'll call this test and create template. And as you can see, we have a really robust, fully editable template builder to send our email marketing to our clients. We can edit the headings, the images, the buttons. We can inject dynamic data from our CRM, which is really nice. And then if we were to go ahead and hit send to, we could choose who we want to send this to. This is just a test mail to me, but you can send it to your whole list, to custom segments, and so much more. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of this and I'll just get rid of my changes because I don't need to save them here. This connects to the CRM. So our CRM is where all of our customer data will live. We don't have any leads here, but we can easily add context to our CRM from a form or a quiz on our site. We can also set up custom tabs or custom lists. So we could have lists for different segments of our clients, and you could do that all here. There's also several different integrations. You can export your leads, but let's take a look at the integration. So you can integrate with Zapier, which is an automation tool, Make, which is an automation tool, email, Telegram, ClickTip, HubSpot, Webhook, and more. So there's a lot of different integrations to connect your CRM to other services, but you can also just have your contacts in the CRM and then email them directly with the Onepage email tool. You can also invite members here as well. So there's a fully built-in CRM to Onepage, which makes it really nice and easy to manage all of your customer data in one place without moving to a different tool. Okay, so let's go back here to our projects. We'll click into this folder again where our project is currently set. And now what we can do is we can move right into our page. The last thing I want to show you is, as I showed you, you could share your project with someone else. If someone has shared a project with you, it would show up right here. Now, I don't have any projects shared with me, but if somebody had shared a project with me, it would show up right here, and then I could go ahead and edit that project. I'm going to go ahead and go back here to this page. And now what I'm going to show you how to do here in the next section of this video is work a little bit with the one-page builder, show you how to customize some of the elements on the page, and show you the different things that you can do, including the quiz builder. So let's go ahead and click into our page. And as we could see here, we have our page, but everything is editable. If we hover over any element on the page, we can edit everything about that section. On the text, we can change the color, we can change the font, we can change the size, and so much more. If I hover over this, for instance, I can change the font color right here. We can make it purple. We can come back. We can change the different font sizes and settings. We can change the header font, the weight, the size, and so much more. If we click on an image, we get the same experience where we can change the scale from fit to fill to auto height and so much more. We can also change the different settings, like whether it opens in a model box, background color, full size, full height, the corner radius, the shadow, and so much more. We can also connect different actions to elements on the page. There's hover effects and even tracked events. Every element on the page is customizable like this, whether it's text or photos or even videos. I want to show you something here down on the left-hand side. This menu button here is a really handy tool to navigate on your page. If we click this, we can see all of the different sections of our page. So we have the menu, which is the header. We have the cover. We have the advantages. We have the logo grid. And if we click any of these sections, it'll actually pan to that section on the page. We go to tools. We can show the tools that we're proficient in, the testimonials, and we can easily navigate and find the different sections on our page through this menu. We can add a new section to our page in a couple different ways. We can click this Add Section button down here, but also if we're on our page, if we hover between the sections, we can hit this blue button and add a new section of our page. Once I hit that, as you can see, there's a ton of different pre-built sections that are available to us. We have our headers, which are like our nav bars here. There's a ton of different styles. We have our mega menu header. We have cover images or heroes. We have about sections. We have product sections. And anytime we want to add any of these to our page, we simply click it and it actually adds it right into our page for us. And then we can go ahead and edit all the elements of that section. There's call to action. So we have all these different call to action buttons, including countdown timers and so much more. Keep moving down here. We have our trust elements. These will be like logos and partners. There's nice scrolling effects and animations. We have team elements so we can show our team. They're all beautifully designed already for us, so it takes the guesswork out of it. We've got testimonials, so we can show our social proof. We have timelines, so we can show sequential events, different steps on how to use our product. We have modules. We have footers. Every page needs a footer and so much more. If I want to go ahead and add a footer to the page, it'll add it right here. But we can also move this section around by clicking the three dots, hitting move down, and now we have our footer down at the bottom of the page. So it's really easy to rearrange sections. We can also click the menu over here on the left, and we can move our sections simply by dragging and dropping them, which is a really easy way to edit our sections. Now, this site only has one page, but if we had multiple pages on our site, we could find them here. As we can see, we only have the home page, but if we had multiple pages, we'd be able to manage them all from here. Moving on, we do have our publish button. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And this actually publishes our site instantly to our one-page demo domain. They give us a nice QR code so we can scan that. But we can actually go ahead and click this and we can see our website now live on the web. And if we were to upgrade and connect our custom domain, this would be published at our custom domain. Okay, so we're back to the home page here. And the next thing I want to show you is Onepage's powerful form builder. You could also look at this as a quiz or a funnel builder, but I'll show you all the different ways that you can use forms to build powerful experiences within your page. So we want to add our form right below this hero section here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hover below the section, and we're going to hit this plus button to add a new section. Once we hit this, you can see that you can add any of their pre-built elements into the page, but we're going to use blueprints to show you how you could build these powerful experiences that change as you move through the form steps. So they have all kinds of different blueprints. You have sort of a 1-section blueprint, 2-section, smaller section on the left with a wider section on the right. you got 3 sections, 4 sections, and the list goes on and on. Let's just start with a single 1-section blueprint here. We're going to go ahead and add that into our page. And then what we can do is we can actually click into this section and hit the plus button here. Once we hit the plus button, we see all the different form elements that are available to us. You could search for your form element, but as you can see, there are a ton of options. They have short text, long text, name, email, address, drop downs, checkboxes, chips, cards, really anything that you can think of. And let's go ahead and build out a simple form here to show you how powerful this really is. So let's go ahead and say we want to start with collecting names from our users. So we can go ahead and click this. And as we can see, we now have a first name and last name field on our form. We can, of course, customize this just like everything else on Onepage. We can change the alignment. We can change the text color. We can change the different elements within the form. We can edit the name. We can choose middle name. There's a lot that you can customize, of course, down to the pixel here with Onepage. But let's go ahead and just get the first name and last name. We'll remove the middle name here from this question. So we have our form. If we go ahead and now click Edit Form, we can actually see the steps in our form. So right now, we just have this first step, which is named Layout. We can, of course, rename this and we'll call it Name to make it more easily recognizable. Now we can actually add a second step to our form. And check this out. We can actually choose single elements or step templates, but we can also go back to Blueprint again. Let's go ahead and choose this. And for the second step, we can actually have a different blueprint, which is super cool. As they move through the form, they'll get a new experience. So let's go ahead and just choose 1 row, 3 columns. And now we can actually customize this. So we collect their first name, and then they're brought to this next step. So in each one of these grids in this section, we can actually add form elements. So let's go ahead and click into this. And let's just say, after we collect their name, we want a drop-down option. In the second one, let's just do a range slider. And then on the third section here, we will have an upload file option here. Okay, so let's check this out. We can click into this, of course. We can change everything, first option, second option, third option. We can rename these to whatever we want. We can change the styles, the colors. We can, put a badge, we can do icons, we can allow multiple selections, proceed after choice, all kinds of things that we can do. We can also go into the settings of our form and we can choose if there's a progress bar, a submit button, a next step. Maybe we don't want the submit button here because there's going to be a next step. So you get the idea. You can really customize how this all looks. But let's go ahead and click out of this, go back to the form, and we can see now we have our second section. We can rename this. Let's do this right here. We can call this questions. And let's go ahead and add one more step. So for the final step, let's go back to this 1-column layout. And maybe here, we'll hit the plus button again. We can, maybe allow a customer to pick a date to choose an appointment, something like that. Again, this is just an example, but as you can see here, now we have our date picker. We can make it required. We can add an icon. We can put a label, call this date. This way, everything is labeled here for us. Let's rename it here as well to date. Okay, so as you can see, we have this 3-step form now, and it's looking really nice. Let's go back to our page, and we can update this. And our site is live, so let's go ahead and click this URL, and we can actually check out our form. So let's start to fill out our form, test, name. We can hit next, and look at this. We're brought now into this 3-section part of our form. So it's really nice. We can slide this, we can upload our files. All these sort of things are available right in the form. So super, super cool. So as you can see, you could build these really complex multi-step forms that look different on each step of the form, which is super, super cool. Now, it gets even better than that. I showed you some of the form settings, but what's really powerful is the logic here. So if we click into this logic tab here on the left, we can see our form. Right now, it's just sequential. We're getting the name, then we go to the questions, and then we go to the date. But let's just say we want to add a rule or some logic to our form. Again, this is a simple example, but if you had a multi-step form, you could really route the people through the form depending on how they answered the questions. So let's go ahead and click rule, and we get this really nice logic builder. So we can say if a certain field is selected, so if a file upload is uploaded, then we can go to the date. Now we only have 3 steps in this form, But if we had other steps in this form, we could actually skip a step or go to another step in our form if they answered that question in a specific way. If we go up to this first section here, we can add a rule. So, if first name is equal to, let's just say Art, then we can actually just skip the questions and go to the date. So if we get somebody who specifically answers the question that we want, we can skip the second question and go right to the date. And if not, then they'll go right to question. So we're building this logic right into our forms, which is super powerful. And we can actually see how this looks now here visually, which is super nice. Going back to our form here, I want to show you one other thing, and these are our results. So nobody has submitted this form yet, but what we can actually see here is the insights from our form, the funnel view, and then the leads collected from our form once these forms are submitted. Our form builder is super powerful. There's a ton that you can do, and really your imagination is the limit here with the forms. You can have as many steps as you would like. You can add actions and all kinds of things to the form as well to make these even more complex. Okay, so that wraps up our tutorial of the one-page builder. We really hope it was helpful, and we can't wait to see what you create with Onepage. Whether you're building landing pages, full-on websites, funnels, quizzes, link in bio, link tree clones, or so much more, really, the possibilities are endless with the builder. Please share your projects in the comments below. Ask any questions that you might have. If this video was helpful, like it so other people can find it. And please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any other videos like this one. Thank you so much for being a Onepage customer, and we can't wait to see what you build.